Hello everyone and welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. As you can see, we're going to be taking a look at a knife from RoseCraft Blades. This is their newest release. Drops today in the States, so that's 1st of January 25. They are at Heine Haynes and they will be listed very soon, I'm sure, when they get back to work after the holiday period. This one is a traditional one, so it comes in a traditional style box with the sort of craft paper finish, with a logo on the front here, website, logo on the back. And we're looking at the RoseCraft Mill Creek Cotton Sampler RCT024, and this box here is for the one in the red sandalwood. Now I also have the one here in the black sandalwood as well. Edge of the box, again, you get that same information. Of course, this is made in China. Got a little pull tab. Knife comes wrapped in this sort of wax paper inside this foam cutout. Great packaging, holds the knife securely in transit, doesn't get damaged, all the sort of good stuff. But here they are. This is the Mill Creek Cotton Sampler in the black sandalwood, and then here we have the red sandalwood. Now, many of you may know I'm not a huge fan of the spade blade or the cotton sampler in general. But yeah, we're going to take a look at these because there's a lot of things I do like about this knife, and a couple of things I'm not a huge fan of. But you know, Andy knows you can't win them all. For me, a spade blade is just not my sort of cup of tea. But we'll take a look through the red sandalwood, mainly because I just want to show you the grain on this wood. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. So we'll pop that one up there. We get the fantastic red sandalwood on here. I mean, look at the grain on that. Isn't that just beautiful? You can see where the knot was in the wood, and it's sort of curled up and back down. And on the back, we get this really nice color variation of the straight cut grooves on there. Pins holding this together, of course. Got these stainless steel integral liners and bolsters. Of course, they are lined as well. And we have a new shield from RoseCraft Blades. They're calling this the Rose Bomb shield. Of course, that is stainless steel. Really like that. Nice little classy little shield. Very sort of, it does kind of remind me of the bomb shield. Obviously, it's just straightened out, but yeah, I think they've done a great job with that. I think that's fantastic. I'd like to see that on some more releases coming up. Build quality on this is absolutely flawless, as you'd expect from any knife from RoseCraft Blades. I'm yet to have any sort of quality issues at all, really. Nothing. Everything's hafted really well. There's no sharp edges. Back of the tang, I can't feel anything. Nothing like that at all. Termination is nice on the end. You can see the blade centering is right down the middle. I mean, but this is the quality we've come to expect from RoseCraft Blades, and it's exactly the same with the black sandalwood. Centering is fantastic. Build quality is fantastic. Again, you get the Rose Bomb shield. Now, the coloration of this wood is not showing up best on camera, but in sunlight, you can kind of make out the grain here. But this is really beautiful in the sunlight. See it on the back there as well. Right down the middle, everything identical. I actually really like the profile of this knife. I think the handle shapes are really attractive. Love the way it sort of curves back here as well. And I think if they were to re-release this with a different blade, I think I'd fall in love with this sort of pattern. But as it stands, the cotton sampler is not a blade that's going to do it for me. But if you are a fan of the cotton sampler, or you really like a spade blade, this one is definitely going to be for you. Andy's sort of take on it, a slight change of the blade. You can work out, you've got his signature swedge at the top there as well. And he said it was more of more like a spade than a cotton sampler sort of blade, but you can see the sort of subtle changes with it. But of course, we've got the fantastic edge grind on there, uniform all the way down on both sides, razor sharp out of the box. And one of the things I do like about this blade, in particular the way he's designed it, is there is actually a sharp tip on the end there, because I know generally a spade blade would be more rounded on the end. That makes sort of more sense for the use of the knife. But this one has got a nice little point on it, so you could use it for piercing cuts, things like that. Also the swedge at the top there as well. Nice thick working stock with that. We have Andy Armstrong's Maker's Mark D2 steel and the model number on the back, which is RCT024 RSW for red sandalwood. And on the front, we've got the RoseCraft tang stamp. One of the main things I've never really understood about the cotton sampler, I know in history it was used obviously for sampling cotton, and they would, I believe, rub the cotton on this part of the blade to sort of test the quality of it. But in sort of modern times, I don't see the need for this, and I guarantee, you know, we're keeping the history alive by making the same traditional patterns, but for my eye, it just doesn't sort of fit. But I cannot fault the knife at all. It's flawlessly made, and these subtle changes really do work. It's comfortable in the hand, really nice grip on this. So let's talk about some specs. So we have a 3-inch D2 steel cotton sampler blade. Of course, that is satin finished. It has a 2.7mm thick swedging at the very top up here. This is, as I mentioned at the start, it's the first knife featuring the Rose Bomb shield, which I really like. I think it's fantastic. I really hope they sort of keep that around, use it on some more knives. Nickel silver pins. It's 3.9 inches close and 6.9 inches overall, and weighs right about the 3-ounce mark if the weight of a knife is something that you're interested in. For me, I'm not too bothered. As long as it's not weighing a ton, it doesn't bother me the weight at all. But please bear in mind, you know, wood's a natural material, so yours may vary in sort of grain. You can see the variation on my one alone. You've got the nice straight cut on the back, and then you've got this really beautiful arched sort of style on the front. So, would we class this one as UK legal? I mean, the entire blade length is 3 inches. The cutting edge is going to be way under. For me, yes, it's going to not be a problem being UK legal, but then again, it depends on who's sort of measuring it and what they sort of look at it for. But honestly, for this, I'd have no problem carrying this in the UK. Great action, about a 7 on the pull. Nice crisp half stop. And as a comparison, it's exactly the same on this one, so they've kept the consistency, which is nice to see. Really wonderful redesigned pattern by Andy Armstrong. Just love the way the handle shape, I know I've said it already, but the handle shape is really comfortable. It's just a shame, Andy, that you put this blade on it. I know you wanted to do a traditional pattern, but you know I don't like a spay. But I can totally respect the tradition of this and the complete flawless build quality that you bring to all your knives. As I said before, if you're after something with a nice big fat spay, or you really do enjoy a cotton sampler, this is definitely going to be the one for you. You're going to be able to pick it up in the States for $62.99, and it'll be somewhere around that price in the UK when it drops on Heine Haynes. I'd say maybe 65 to 67 with that sort of shipping fees and stuff to get it over, and the taxes and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there we go. That is the RoseCraft Blades Mill Creek Cotton Sampler. Model number again is RCT024 RSW. I really hope you enjoyed my review or overview of this knife. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.